Hi, Jess. Here, your higher self guide. And I wanted to talk about higher self connection today, how to connect. I spent years as a higher self connector for people. I would take them into trance, and I was a QHHT practitioner. I would take them into trance. They would go into either a past life or another higher dimension within themselves in their history that their higher self wanted to show them for their very best good that day and to help them move forward on a higher timeline. And then we would call forward the higher self and ask the questions that that person came in with that day. Sometimes they would come in for healings, and yes, instant healings did take place in some of my sessions. Sometimes the person had to have an experience, so there would be a partial healing, and then they had to, have some of the experience and go through that so that their soul could learn and evolve and have some corrections along the way. So we could only take it so far in the session. So, um, with the higher self connection, I want you to be aware that you connect naturally all the time. People connect naturally all the time. And it's about getting more awareness on it and what that is for you, just like your psychic gifts. Having more awareness of them, how you use them, and energy as well, makes your life elevate, helps you get on higher timelines, helps you become bigger, better, greater, whole, more certain in your life, and move through challenges with much more ease, not holding on to things nearly as long as you probably did before. And I could speak from my personal experience as well. And so with higher self connection, when you are able to let your ego, your conscious mind, the part of you that is in control all day, every day, and gets to take a rest when you go to bed, when you go to sleep at night, or you take a nap, when you can let that part rest, because it is overworked, let's just face it, okay? Then it gets anxiety, then it gets like really dysregulated. When you can let that rest, you can be more aware of your higher self and your spirit guides and your psychic gifts and that higher wisdom, not just the what's going on here and now, but how do we get that higher wisdom? How do we get onto that higher timeline? What else is possible to make life bigger, better, greater, more wonderful? How do I learn and grow in this life to get the most out of it? So that's where the higher self comes in. That's where the spirit guides come in. And that is, a part of your higher self at times. Some of that is part of your higher self. Some of those guides are, are, relatives that have been in your past, and they've, some people have seen their like great, 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 great grandparent as one of their guides. So that's just an example. There are so many, 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 many possibilities. But when you want to connect with them, know that if you're just getting started on this journey, or maybe if you're kind of felt like you had a pause and they've been quiet, your higher self has been really quiet, notice where you are emotionally. If you are really sucked into like the day-to-day and you're feeling lack, you're feeling limited, you're feeling scarcity, you're feeling like you're in survival mode, notice where you are, and can you go find a way to make yourself feel happy? Nah, just truly happy. You can, I promise. So it doesn't matter what any doctor has said, you can. Now, this can be watching a comedy show. I love comedy. It can be dancing like a buffoon in your backyard, then watching a comedy show. You can do a series of these things. It doesn't matter. Like, you may be in a bad way right now, and you may have to do a series of things. Grounding outside, walking and barefoot on the ground, walking through the forest for a couple of hours, just like starting to smile at the trees, start engaging with things that like represent happiness, kind of moving around, dancing around. I like to dance like a buffoon around a fire in my backyard with my son and just like act like a kid. Now, other ways that you can do this is taking your focus off of the conscious mind. And for surfers, surfing the wave. For skaters, skating the bowl, skating the skate park. Once you get into your conscious mind, it's easy to fall. However, when you are in flow, your conscious mind and your ego is aside. Another is like a hunter hunting. Like they have to be in focus. The conscious mind's got to be aside. Another is like sports, athletes, drivers. When you're driving, if you can get yourself to a good enough feeling state, feel good. Your conscious mind is aside. Your ego gets to take a little break and you are just like cruising in a state of trance. Not super, super deep unless you're on a really long drive. Sometimes that happens, but you go into a state of trance and you can call your higher self and your spirit guides forward. So going on a drive, listen to something that's uplifting, dancing around, singing around, and then going into quiet, turn the volume down, and you can call them forward and start talking. Asking questions, asking those questions on how to move forward. If you're in a place of scarcity, all right, now's the time to like start like, okay, let's get these good ideas flowing. So you can then connect with your higher self, get higher wisdom to come through, to help guide you. So something that has come through, a lot of clients wanted to know and do want to know, because I don't know if I mentioned this in the beginning of this video, but I was a QHHT practitioner for years, and I also connected people with their higher self. I would connect with their higher self and journey through past lives for them and bring information forward for them as well. So in these quantum sessions, whether I'm guiding the person into trance or I am going into trance and telling them what is coming forward, regardless, one, there's a beautiful frequency and energy that is shared between the two people. There is also the information that comes through is to help you in the best way that you can. So it's to help you where you are now, get to a higher timeline. And then it's up to you to like take the information and move forward. Clients come in with questions, and a common question is, how do I continue connecting with my higher self, my spirit guides after this session? And how do I develop that relationship? Because for everybody, it's a little bit different, because we are all here to have a little different of an experience. So there's an infinite ways to develop those and like sequences and things like that. So what I do, I share with my clients, and then they take it and they develop it in their own way. But when you're connecting with these higher frequencies, you know that you are connecting in a way that there's a good energy flow, a positive energy flow, a healing energy flow, higher wisdom, versus the lower energies where you end up in doubt and fear and scarcity and breeding more anxiety. So that I call that more of like a take. There you have to give something, like taking a medicine that may benefit, like it may help whatever ailment you have right now, but cause liver failure or kidney failure, or there's side effects. So there's no side effects when you're going to those higher places. So when you are connecting with your higher self to then develop your guides, your relationship with your spirit guides, and bring in healing and higher wisdom to help you move forward on higher timelines in your life, it's not taking from you, and you should feel more happy after. You should feel more energetic or ready for bed after for a nice sleep, depending on when you're connecting, what time of the day. So with developing this more over time, a very common way, the thing that higher selves, the higher self says through people, clients, is sit down in meditation. Go on a walk by yourself on a trail in the forest. Lay down in your pool alone and just like get to a happy place. It's always getting into an elevated place and quieting yourself, quieting the ego. And then you connect. And know you are connecting when you are feeling a positive cheerleader, best friend, someone on your side. Okay? If it's not, that is your ego, and you need to continue grounding. You need to continue elevating yourself to a happier, more joyful state. So I hope that helps you with your higher self journey, your development of the connection and with your higher self and your spirit guides. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And